Hi, my name is Kelly Rymel. I'm listed as Reamersma on the RC website because I have not gotten around to updating my name since I got married. And that's kind of part of my piece too, is that separation between before I got married, living my small town life growing up, and my after marriage life where I'm at right now. Growing up, I grew up in a very small town. Very Dutch community called Zeeland, Michigan, which is near Holland, Michigan. So I went to school with a lot of just white blonde kids for the most part. So I wasn't really terribly defined by my race growing up. We obviously had people of color at our school. We had people of Mexican descent at our school because Holland had a very large Mexican population. So growing up, they were in my Girl Scout troop, they're in my classes. It just was never an issue where I came from. Being such a small town, you still knew everybody, you still knew everybody's parents. So yeah. So mostly what I was defined by was actually my activities. So I guess physical ability might fall into that category since I was very heavily involved in sports. In middle school, I did both softball and tennis, and then I switched over to doing cross country and track in high school. And that actually, the track portion continued on into college. I switched from running long distance to sprinting to throwing, and even a little bit of the jumping activities. Not that I wanted to do those, but it was something my coach encouraged me to do, and fortunately, I did not do well at, so it was very short-lived. Another large portion that defined me growing up was the Girl Scouts. Getting to know girls from not only my area, but our entire council by being part of Mackinac Island Honor Scouts, which is a select group of women who actually go up to Mackinac Island for a week in the summer and work at the fort. We raise and lower the flags every day, also known as the Governor's Honor Guard up there. Growing up, my family didn't have a terrible amount of money. We did do a lot of Disney trips because my parents had a timeshare through Disney, so that was pretty much our usual spring break trip. My dad was a builder, and my mom worked a lot of odd jobs. Mostly she was a stay-at-home mom. She did do some substitute teaching. And when I was in high school, my dad actually got laid off during the recession that we had. So we were very tight on money for a while. So we tried not to let it obviously define our family. We went on the lunch program at school, where we had the discounted lunches. Obviously, people don't know you're part of that, but you go up to lunch on every day and your lunch is 30 cents rather than the $2 than everybody else's was. Being a straight white female was a pretty normal thing growing up too. So we had kids that came out in high school, and honestly it was never a big deal to any of us, just because I think because we knew everybody so well that it's just how it was. Congratulations, you do you, man. So switching over, going off to college definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things, just because I got to meet people from so many more different backgrounds than just my small town upbringing. Even though I went to a small college in a small town, I was still able to obviously meet people who grew up differently than me. Got to meet obviously a lot more people from the LGBTQ community. Was friends with a number of them. Roomed with somebody who was of that, who would end up being lesbian. So that was definitely an experience I had never come across, but didn't really affect anything that we did. Moving on to post-marriage. I got married in 2016. And as much as probably feminists today don't want to agree, that's part of what defines my life. I'm a wife. I am a soon-to-be mother. I'm a fur baby mama. And that is pretty much what coordinates most of my life. We do things as a couple. We go on adventures together, to Disney, to all the other weddings of all of our friends. We try to do camping when we can. So, yeah, I mean, so again, being of a small town is definitely what impacted me growing up, and then being married is what impacted me most as an adult now. And I'm sure being a mom is going to impact me the most in come July. So that's me, and that pretty much sums up my presentation.